Welcome back. Employees with the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, it's better known here as CISA, are awaiting word on possible additional layoffs. Last week, the Trump administration fired more than 130 CISA staffers. The agency was established in 2018 during President Trump's first term to mitigate the risk of cyber and other physical threats to the country and to the nation's election infrastructure. That was one of its delineated obligations. Now, people who are experts in this field fear that they could create vulnerabilities, cyber and otherwise, for our election infrastructure and other important dimensions. For more, I want to bring in CBS News election law expert David Becker. He is also the executive director of the Center for Election Innovation and Research and co-author of an excellent book called The Big Truth. I highly recommend it. David, CISA and the layoffs and also some carve-outs at FBI and this particular agency. Walk the audience through both.
Right. We should remember CISA, as you mentioned, was established in 2018 under the Trump administration. It was the successor to a similar organization with the Department of Homeland Security that was founded around when elections were made critical infrastructure, designated critical infrastructure in the United States. And that was because in 2016 and thereabouts, Russia, agents of the Russian government and perhaps others were trying to seek access to election systems. They were spreading disinformation. They'd even successfully gained access to a system that didn't ultimately have any effect on the election. But it was important for the federal government to assist the states who run these elections to ensure that our elections were secure. So CISA was established in 2018 under the Trump administration with a mission to protect our election system from this kind of hacking. And it was incredibly successful, both during the Trump administration and during the Biden administration. It was widely regarded as successful and very nonpartisan.
And even states that were run by Republicans that were initially reluctant to have this sort of federal interaction and oversight came around on that and found it to be valuable.
That's such an important point. Back when it first occurred, that the critical infrastructure designation, there was some concern, particularly from some of the Republican states, that this might lead to a federal takeover. And yet, fast forward to today, when that CISA election team has essentially been disbanded and their work is likely not going to be renewed, the National Association of Secretaries of State, a bipartisan organization, sent a letter just today really recommending that the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security reevaluate this, that their work was so crucial. It was signed by a Democratic Secretary of State in Minnesota and a Republican Secretary of State in Mississippi. So this demonstrates how crucial this work had been, how successful it had been. It was even so successful that there were several current and former Republican secretaries of state who, prior to this unit being disbanded, had been vying to lead this unit under the Trump administration. But now, since this unit is likely disbanded, that won't occur.
How much of this is caught up in election denialism after 2020?
I mean, it's likely a significant amount of it. I mean, the CISA had been really importantly stood up for the integrity of election officials and the system itself
and
in
the security of the
2020.
system.
Yes. And
didn't comment on the outcome, just said it was a secure election.
CISA in both 2020 and 2024, with very different outcomes,
of course,
had reached the same conclusion that there was no evidence for any doubt about the outcomes. The states had done a remarkable job, and in fact, they had. So it's likely this is somewhat tied up to that. We've seen a page on the CISA website, Rumor Control, that they had started in around 2020 when there was a lot of disinformation, a lot of it originating from our foreign adversaries, to debunk some of that information and provide some resources to the states to help them debunk some of the information about elections. That has been taken down off of the CISA website, and it might be that other similar sites are taken down.
And hostile foreign actors remain in this space.
Yeah, more than remain. They are likely ramping up efforts. I mean, you can imagine if, you're trying to attack some kind of system and that system just unilaterally disarms and takes much of its defense away, that is only going to embolden the attackers. And I think there's no evidence that we've seen over the course of a decade now that adversaries like Russia, China, Iran, and others are going to ramp down their efforts. They're only ramping them up with disinformation, perhaps attacks on our infrastructure. And so our ability to defend against those attacks has been weakened by weakening CISA.
And for those in our audience who might say, well, the states can defend themselves, this letter that came out today suggests, no, they would like some of this federal help to continue?
Well, the states don't have the resources of the Federal Department of Homeland Security. They don't have the resources of the intelligence community of the United States. They don't have a variety of resources. And also, they might just be focused on what's happening in their state. And what's happening in their state might be part of a broader attack across other states. And CISA was essential in connecting all of those dots for the election officials so they could reach out to others, try to forge a common defense against some of these things. That's going to be severely weakened in this new environment.
David Becker, thanks very much for coming in.
Thanks, Major.